It's a happy day, right? Great. I'm happy to be here and to hold the space for children's happiness. So who am I, right? That's where the question I've been dealing with for 45 years, and I'm sharing with you now. But it may be helpful to know that I bring together Eastern wisdom and Western science. So that's the lens that I teach through and that I counsel children. So I bring both of those pieces together. And from my experience and my own life, I just feel that it's time to help children sooner rather than later become happier. Because many of us have had this bumpy path to power and bumpy path to happiness. And the wisdom and the awareness that we have now, we don't have to go through so much unnecessary suffering to become happier. So that's my passion, and that's the information I hope to share with you here today, is a little bit of the how of happiness to raise happier children. And children's happiness. Okay, so there's two images here. The image of the child eating the ice cream cone. We all have our favorite treat or dessert. You can think of it right now, and immediately you feel good because you're remembering it. But, for me, I'd love chocolate ice cream with chocolate sprinkles and gummy bears. Everyone has their treat. But for the child, you're happy when you have the ice cream cone, but if someone bumped into her and she dropped the ice cream cone, then her happiness is gone. So that's a temporary happiness. And temporary happiness is good. That's where we start, right? So for me, temporary happiness is walking on the beach, reading a book, having a cup of tea, all these, having great friendships and family. And, they're lasting, but those moments are temporary. But the deeper type of happiness is that awareness within that the other image points to, which is within you, and the idea that we can now cultivate that within children, that awareness that feels like peace, that it feels like contentment, right? That place within that you can keep turning back to that is a deeper type of happiness that doesn't depend on the outside world, right? We've all gotten caught up in the, I will be happy when fill in the blank, right? And that's okay. But when we start really doing the work and learning the how of happiness, we start to go inward and realize that there is that place within you, right? Like that confidence that I spoke about, that is greater than anything in the outside world, and that you could dig deep there and go and create this deeper, unshakable happiness. So these are the three main components to nurturing a deeper type of happiness in children. We have emotional mastery, mindset and habits. The mindset is interesting because there's so much here, and I could talk for hours, but let me give you the brief synopsis. Mindset is really, we've all talked about it for 2 days, but how do we develop an optimistic mindset, right? How do we use every single experience in our lives as fodder for our happiness? And how do we help children do that as well? How do you really use, whether it's failing a test, whether it's the bully on the playground, everything can be fodder for happiness. As well as developing a skillful mindset, you want to develop these positive internal qualities, right? Compassion that we've talked about, generosity, gratitude, habits of gratitude, but developing those inner qualities really it becomes a mindset, right? So reframing situations, that's essential. We all know how, if you can learn to look at things from different sides, that it's helpful. The daily practice of gratitude, I can't say enough about it. Many of you are probably familiar with the rose and thorn exercise with children, but if you're not, I will share it with you. Since kids really need to visualize stuff, it can't be abstract, they need to really see, something physical in their mind. A great exercise is at the end of the day or in the car ride home when they're captive in the back, right? You say, well, what was your rose today? Meaning, what were you grateful for? What was a real positive thing? And you'll hear anything from today was pizza day to, I got to kick the kickball into the thing, or, today we got to practice for the play. It can be a wide variety of things. And then what was your thorn? And they'll come up with something, they'll share with you. It's an opportunity to have that dialogue and continue to shift them toward the positive. All right, so I'm just giving a summary. Here's a summary slide of some key pieces of the puzzle for helping children become happier. We start with mastering emotions. Then we talked about the mindset, and then we talked about habits. But some specifics I mentioned were getting a mentor or a happiness teacher for children, whether it's formal or informal. It can be someone in the family, can be someone in the community, could be someone on Skype. It doesn't matter, but it needs to be someone to help them in particular with their personality and their experiences and their challenges become happier. Learn from their peers as to best of your ability, guide them in ways that, they pick friends that you feel, okay, these are friends that I want them to emulate, right? Help others. I'm big into the direct experience of helping others, not only because compassion is one of the keys to becoming happier, but that other-mindedness. One piece of happiness is the more that we unify with others, the more that we see that we're connected in community and in life, we become happier. And when we feel separated, whether it's building walls or whatever we want to do, that is a source of unhappiness. And then reframe. Want to, whatever challenges are happening, not ignore those challenges, but if there's a possibility, say someone failed a test, you can say, all right, well, what can we do differently? What can we do, what can we try next time? Or, really reframe situations. That can be that's essential to become happier. And then feel grateful, right? That practice of gratitude. And I'm not saying, have your child say thank you, which is a good thing, manners, but really to feel such deep gratitude, helping really feel that gratitude, whether it's, being grateful that you're physically healthy or whatever it may be, but really it's a key piece of the puzzle. Thank you, everyone. I'm very grateful.